Hi friends, this is your pal Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about Stranger Things, Season 5, Episode 3. And this episode is called The Turnbow Trap. All right, so this refers to Derek Turnbow. So who is Derek Turnbow? So Derek Turnbow is a classmate of Holly Wheeler. Holly Wheeler has already been abducted, taken from the IRL right side up Hawkins, and taken into upside down Hawkins, right? And she is with Henry Creel, aka Vecna, and she is in his mindscape. She's in the upside down, but at the same time she's also in Vecna's mindscape, and these two are one is nested within the other, but it is an important distinction. So at this point, we get from Will. We now know Will is fully connected to the hive mind, right? And he has found out that Vecna is doing what he can to continue to abduct children. And he's going to use a large number of children to get their energy and forward his dastardly plans for the world. At this point, he's already cracked Hawken open like an egg. At this point, he's looking to expand his power, the upside down, into the United States of America, and he's going to do this by using the energy of children. So the next child he's targeting is Derek Turnbow. So Derek Turnbow is in Holly Wheeler's class, and so at this point, the whole crew, Steve, Robin, and Dustin, okay, and then you have Mike, Lucas, and Will, right? Then you have Nancy and Jonathan, and then Joyce is on both sides. Hopper and Eleven are at this point in the upside down, but at this point, Joyce and everybody but Hopper and Eleven, they all get together and they're saying, what can we do to find Vecna and kill Vecna, right? Because they've been trying, and they're struggling, right? So Will says, well, we really gotta go the extra mile, and what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to kidnap the Turnbows. We're gonna need to kidnap Derek Turnbow, so that when the Demogorgon is sent to take Derek Turnbow, we can actually put a tracker in it and trace it back to Vecna, where it's supposed to be taking Derek Turnbow, okay? All right. So they actually do this, right? So they go to the Turnbow house, and Erica brings them a poisoned pie, which is poisoned with very highly sedative sleeping pills are in the pie. Everyone in the Turnbow family eats the pie except Tina. And Tina's like trying to stay slim, and so she won't eat it. Erica tells her to eat it. She won't, and Erica drugs her with a needle. This is like Stranger Things getting pretty hardcore. Erica stabs Tina with a needle. It's pretty bad. And at this point, they kidnap the entire Turnbow family, right? And they take them to this farmhouse, an isolated farmhouse where they can keep an entire kidnapped family, right? Tina stays in the house, right? But the reason why Joyce has taken the Turnbow family to this isolated farmhouse is the rest of the team, Joyce and Will, go to the farmhouse. And Robin also goes to the farmhouse. But Steve and Dustin and Mike and Lucas, they all stay, and they're ready for the Demogorgon at the Turnbow house, right? And so this Demogorgon opens up the gate exactly, just tears a rift right between the upside down and the Turnbow house and comes through. But Steve and Dustin and Mike and Lucas, they are ready, right? Steve is Steve is equipped with a chainsaw, a Stihl, Stihl, very prominent product placement, a Stihl chainsaw. And it's very interesting that that Stranger Things continues to get product placement. Kentucky Fried Chicken had done product placement in earlier seasons. Very fascinating. Just that they're able to continue to do that, because it's a period piece, and you would think they would struggle to do that, but they don't. And so basically, there is an extremely extended, very violent, hyper action combat scene between Steve, Dustin, Mike, and Lucas, and the Demogorgon, right? And they have to get the Demogorgon. They have to put the Demogorgon. They have to get a tracker inside it, and we actually missed a scene. So the way they get this tracker inside the Demogorgon is Nancy, along with gets equipment from Murray, and she actually tracks shooting a tracker into I think it's a watermelon, maybe a pumpkin, but during that scene, it comes out that Murray has gotten Jonathan Murray has gotten Jonathan a wedding ring, right? And he is considering proposing to Nancy Wheeler, right? But one of the problems with that is that Steve Harrington is still very much into Nancy Wheeler and is constantly alpha male, like competing with Jonathan over Nancy. And Jonathan's pretty, he's upset about it, but he also is very open with Steve. He's like, we're on the same team, man. This isn't cool what you're doing. And Steve's like, oh, I'm not doing anything, which is a bunch of bunk. He's definitely trying to mac Nancy Wheeler, which, by the way, that's fine, right? Like, if you got a girlfriend, if you got a fiance, whatever, right? Until the deed's done, until you're married, everything's fair game. Like, people could try to take that partner from you, and they should, because this is a forever decision, right? Nobody needs to respect boyfriend, fiance nonsense, right? If you want to, if you want to make somebody yours, that's what marriage is for, right? So, but Jonathan needs to step up and ask, but he hasn't, right? And so that becomes part of it as well. So this Demogorgon fight happens in the Turnbow house, and they do it. They're able to get the tracker in the Demogorgon. They damage the Demogorgon, and they actually literally rip a hole through. They make a pit in the basement for this thing. They cut a hole in the flooring. They really go to town on this thing. It is a very significant combat, but they get it in. They get the tracker in, and then the Demogorgon heads off into the Upside Down. And at this point, they explain to Derek Turnbow, hey, we need you to go in to the Big Mac and be bait, right? Now, what's wild is they've already done this once before, which was with Max Mayfield. And I think this might be why they're doing this, right? Like, they are like, well, we need to do this to make sure this stuff works. The problem is there are sacrifices. Max is in a coma, right? Like, so they're playing pretty fast and loose with lives. To their point, though, if they're not, like, the forces, the Upside Down forces are playing hard to get. Like, people are dying, children are being abducted. They do need to take some risks. So, like, these risks are very significant, but they're not wrong. There is absolutely a sense of urgency. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider subscribing and have a fetch millennium.